Today we are going to make a Japanese pasta called Napolitan pasta. It's tomato-based pasta, but it's a lot different from what you imagine as a tomato pasta. I'm introducing the original version and vegan version. It's my kids' favorite. Whip up in 20 minutes. You're gonna love it. Starting with originals. Remove the seed of green pepper, cut off the top and twist it. You can easily remove the seeds without making much mess. Then cut in half lengthwise and thinly slice them. Do the same for onion. I'm gonna use half of it for one serving. Remove the stem of shiitake mushroom. Thinly slice the cap part. And for the stem, cut off the bottom and tear the rest by hand. I happen to have these 3 vegetables, but this is fresh cleaned up recipe, so use whatever veggie you want. Carrot, eggplants are my recommendations. I have 3 sausages. This is the key ingredient for the original version, and many people cook with bacon too. To a pan on high heat, add 1 tablespoon of butter, followed by oil. Butter tends to get burnt easily, so I'm mixing with neutral oil. Let them melt and in goes onion. Keep high heat, get your pan moving. Once your onion becomes translucent, add the rest of vegetables and sausages. Sprinkle 1 teaspoon of sugar. Cook it off for another 2 to 3 minutes. This pasta meant to be a little on the sweet side, but not overly sweet. Trust me, it's so tasty. Also, sugar helps to hold the moisture of veggies so that it won't get mushy. Cook the pasta in plenty of water and cook them 1 minute more than the packaging instruction says. Mine will be cooked in 4 minutes, so I'm cooking 5 minutes. As the pasta gets soft, the sauce will clingle more. Forgive me to break the pasta in half. It makes it easier for kids to eat. Back to sauce. Slide the veggies to the side and add 2 tablespoons of tomato ketchup. Let the ketchup boil for 5 seconds. This process will cut off the edge of its tartness and the sauce becomes very mild overall. I'm keeping mid-heat. Then add 1 tablespoon of tonkatsu sauce. Mix everything to coat. Keep the low heat because it tends to burn very easily. Now let's check on the pasta. Reserve the pasta water. Drain the water, then add into the sauce. Splash some pasta water if it's needed. This Japanese Napolitan pasta is not meant to be saucy, so as long as it's not too dry, then you are good to go. As a finishing touch, add 1 teaspoon of butter to make it even more rich and decadent. Let them melt and continue to mix it. Off the heat and have a taste. Adjust the taste with salt if it's needed. And finally, add just a tiny bit of soy sauce for the aroma. I added half teaspoon of it. Serve it on the plate and sprinkle some cheese. Butter, tomato ketchup, pasta. You can't go wrong, right? Because it's easy to whip up, it's very popular lunch staple in many Japanese households. Next, vegan version. It will be as rich and tasty as original version, so stay tuned. First, let's make some toppings. Preheat the oven at 180 Celsius In a bowl, add frozen edamame. Soak them in hot water to be thawed out. And we're gonna quickly mix the sauce. In a bowl, it goes 2 teaspoons of red miso paste, followed by 2 teaspoons of maple syrup and 1 teaspoon of sriracha hot sauce. Mix them well until there are no more lumps. The recipe is influenced by another popular vegan channel. She mentioned this recipe as for snacking, but I thought it would go with the Napolitan pasta. In fact, it worked very well. I put the original recipe in a description box below. Add edamame and toss them to coat. Line the parchment paper on the baking tray and spread your edamame. Make sure to leave the space between each other. Bake them into the oven for 25 minutes to 30 minutes. Let's chop some veggies while it's baked in the oven. I'm going to load up the veggies. Shred carrot into much thin sticks. One green pepper, again shred into much sticks. Make sure to remove the seed first, just like I showed earlier. I'm going to use 1 whole onion. We're gonna caramelize it later, so it's gonna reduce down the volume and leave with the deep, sweet, mellow taste, which I think is essential in this recipe. And do the same for the shiitake mushroom. And also half yellow bell pepper for the sweetness. Look how colorful it looks. Again, this recipe is very forgiving, so you can just use any vegetable you want. And mix the pasta sauce. In goes 1.5 teaspoons of red miso paste, 1 tablespoon of mirin, 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, 2.5 tablespoons of vegan ketchup. Mix them well. Red miso and tomato will work to complement each other to create the depth in flavor. I highly recommend using red miso for this recipe. To a pan on high heat, add 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Add onion first and sprinkle some salt. We are just gonna caramelize them. Stir them constantly and splash the water occasionally if it's needed. It's gonna take you about 10 minutes or so, so enjoy chatting or listen to the music as you do. Once you reach this color, add the rest of veggies. I forgot to show you the garlic, but I'm also adding sliced garlic at this point. And sprinkle 1 teaspoon of sugar. Then cook it for another 2 minutes. We want the veggies to be still crunchy. For the pasta, I'm just using half of 1 serving since we have lots of veggies. Again, cook it for 1 minute longer than the package instruction says. And by the time, edamame should be ready, so let's check on it. After it's cooled down, transfer into the container. And we have an extra, so enjoy as a snacking later. Back to pasta. Add mixed pasta sauce. Mix with veggies. I'm keeping low heat now. Add cooked pasta and pasta water if it's needed. The sauce is pretty thick, so you definitely need the pasta water. We are almost there. Add crunchy edamame. This edamame is actually optional. Just adding frozen peas would be great too. Serve it on a plate and sprinkle some fried onion. And also fresh herbs. I only had a chopped spring onion, but I recommend fresh parsley and even basil will be better than spring onion. The sauce itself is pretty rich and thick, so you need something fresh to balance out. There you go. It's filling, flavorful, and tasty. This is something you want to make when you are very hungry. It was different from my usual recipes. If you like these easy pasta ideas, let me know in the comment below so that I can make a Japanese pasta series in the future. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you make one. Tag me at Miwa Japanese Cooking Class. Thank you very much for watching. See you on the next one. Bye bye. またね。いくよ。いくよ。もうちょっと